Hi, I am Bas Rijkse from basrijkse.com. In this video you'll learn more about how to be a fruitful branch or believer. God cutting off unfruitful branches, this is part 1 of a 2-part series. You're created to bear fruit. Much fruit. To desire fruitfulness and not bear much fruit can be frustrating. Fruit indicates any of the virtues of our Christ-like nature that's in our spirits that manifest itself in and through you. For example, joy, love, peace, faith, holiness, power, victory, etc. Do you want to bear much fruit? The answer to bear more fruit is found in Jesus' words. It says, "He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit he prunes, so that it will be more fruitful." John 15 verse 2. Jesus makes 2 statements here. 1. If you don't bear fruit, God cuts you off. 2. If you do bear fruit, God prunes you to bear more fruit. In a quick glance, both situations don't seem pleasant, but rather threatening, perhaps even painful. I mean, do you, as a branch, want to be cut off or be pruned? The gospel means good news, but this sounds like bad news and has created lots of anxiety among believers. Let's examine both statements and bring our hearts at peace. The gospel never makes someone feel uncertain or fearful. What happens to the unfruitful branches? Jesus said they're cut off. What? Is he really saying believers can be cut off from God's family and lose their sonship and inheritance? If that's true, the question beckons, when is the point that I've blown it to such degree that I'm dismembered from God's family? Let me encourage you. Your position in God's family is as secure as Jesus' position in the Godhead, because as Jesus is, so are you. 1 John 4:17. Well, what does Jesus mean with being cut off from the vine? Here's the crux. Instead of cut off, which is a bad translation, it actually should say to raise up or lifted up. Unfruitful branches are lifted up out of the dirt and redressed so they can be nourished by the sun again. Some Christians are face down in the dirt, not looking at the sun, Jesus Christ. When we lose sight of Christ and His love, we tend to slip into walking after the flesh, which results in dead religious works. Instead of living from our spiritual identity in Christ and so bear much fruit, we can become an unfruitful branch, which means to be face down in the dirt, thus being distracted by the cares of the world, and not enjoying nourishment by basking in the sun, that is being Christ-minded. What happens when we're unfruitful because we lose sight of Christ's love and who we are? In the context of John 15, it shows that God, the gentle gardener, will remind you that He's heads over heels in love with you and that you can do nothing, good or bad, that will change His burning desire and affection for you. In speaking to you like that, He's lifting up your face from the dirt to look up to His Son so that you walk after your divine identity and bear much fruit instead of producing dead religious works by walking after your flesh. How do you bear much fruit? 1. Know God's love. He loves you independent of your behavior. And 2. Know who you are. You are His beloved. To sum up, when we're an unfruitful branch, that's being naturally minded, God helps us through His indwelling Spirit to lift our attention on the things above, that's to be spiritually minded, so we'll bear much spiritual fruit in and through us. In the next post, we'll look at the second statement of Jesus and hear the good news about God's method of pruning. You can leave a comment and get free blog and video updates by subscribing on basrijkse.com. See you later next time. Bye bye.